Elara was different. She was not content with the simple life in the whispering woods. Her village was small and hidden amongst the ancient trees. Life was peaceful but predictable. Elara yearned for more. She dreamt of legends and whispered prophecies. One tale consumed her thoughts. It was the story of the Unbroken Path. The Unbroken Path was a perilous journey. Legend spoke of trials and tribulations. It was said to lead to the Sunstone, an artifact of immense power. The Sunstone held the light of creation itself. It had the power to heal the land and banish darkness. Elara felt a call deep within her soul. She knew she had to find the Sunstone. Elara trained in secret. She honed her skills with the bow and arrow. The forest became her training ground. She learned to move silently, to track prey and to fight. She studied ancient maps and lore. She memorized the stories of the Unbroken Path. Despite the whispers of doubt from her village, Elara's resolve only grew stronger. She was determined to succeed. One cool morning, Elara left the village. She carried a knapsack filled with supplies and a heart full of hope. The forest whispered around her, a symphony of encouragement and farewell. Elara knew the path ahead would be dangerous, but she was not afraid. She was ready to face any challenge. She was ready to walk the unbroken path. The Unbroken Path was aptly named. It was a treacherous route through mountains and across deserts. The path was fraught with danger at every turn. Elara faced scorching sun and biting winds. She encountered wild beasts and treacherous terrain. Yet she pressed on, her resolve never wavered. One day, Elara found herself in a desolate wasteland. The ground was cracked and barren. The air was heavy with despair. This place could break even the strongest spirit. But Elara remembered the stories. She knew that despair was a test, a challenge to her spirit. She would not let it consume her. Elara used her wits and skills to survive. She hunted for food and found shelter in caves. She used her knowledge of the stars to navigate. She faced each obstacle with courage and determination. The Unbroken Path was testing her, pushing her to her limits. But Elara was not broken. She was being forged. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. The path took its toll on Elara. She was weary and wounded, but her spirit remained unbroken. She drew strength from the stories of those who had walked the path before her. She knew she was not alone. The spirits of the past walked with her. They whispered encouragement in her ear. They reminded her of her purpose. Loneliness became Elara's constant companion. The silence of the wilderness was deafening. Doubt began to creep into her thoughts. Had she made the right decision? Was the Sunstone merely a legend? The weight of her quest pressed down on her. The path ahead seemed endless. One night, as Elara huddled in a shallow cave, despair threatened to consume her. The wind howled like a banshee. Rain lashed against the rock, mirroring the tears threatening to spill from her eyes. She missed her village, the familiar faces, the warmth of the hearthfire. Had she been foolish to leave? But as quickly as the doubt arose, Elara remembered why she had started this journey. She thought of her people, their struggles and their fading hope. She remembered the stories of the Sunstone, its power to heal and protect. Hope flickered within her, a tiny flame refusing to be extinguished. Elara clung to that hope. It was a lifeline in a sea of doubt. She knew she could not give up. The Sunstone was more than just a legend. It was a symbol of hope, a beacon in the darkness. She had to believe. She had to keep going. The Unbroken Path led Elara to the edge of a chasm. It was a gaping maw of darkness, known as the Abyss's Gaze. Legends spoke of its horrors, of the whispers that lured travelers to their doom. A chilling wind blew from the abyss, carrying with it the scent of fear and despair. Elara knew she had to cross the chasm. It was the final test, the last obstacle between her and the Sunstone, but the abyss seemed impossible to traverse. The chasm was too wide, the darkness too deep. Fear gnawed at the edges of her courage. Could she overcome this final challenge? As Elara stood at the edge, she heard a voice. It whispered from the abyss, tempting her with promises of power and an end to her journey. It offered her an easier path. a way to avoid the dangers ahead. Elara knew this was another test, a challenge to her very core. Closing her eyes, Elara took a deep breath. She remembered her journey, the challenges she had overcome, the sacrifices she had made. She remembered her purpose, her belief in the sunstone and what it represented. Opening her eyes, Elara silenced the voice. She would not be swayed, she would not be broken, she would face the abyss.